Hey guys, Scott back again with you with a new beer video. What I'm going to do today is my second installment, depending on when you're watching this video, of my what I like to call beer face-off, which a lot of you beer tubers out there, or if you guys follow other people, they do a very similar type of thing. But what I wanted to do today for this beer face-off is kind of pit two beers against each other, and I kind of just will evaluate the beer in my opinion. Definitely if you guys disagree or you have other tidbits, feel free to chime in underneath at the bottom of my YouTube channel and or Facebook page. What I have today are two Imperial IPAs, very famous ones, okay? One is Elysian Space Dust IPA, okay, at 7.2% alcohol, which kind of puts you in that double IPA range. They try to, the double Imperial, there's some liberties on where we swing it, but it's a pretty hefty IPA, pretty common one you can find. Both of these beers, by the way, I plan on doing, if I haven't done already, a standalone beer dissection or / beer analysis for those that don't understand my beer dissection terminology, individually to dedicate, 5 to 10, 12 minutes or so on each of these beers. The other one I have, and I'm probably gonna have these pop over my shoulder, is from Sierra Nevada, the Torpedo Extra IPA. Okay, this is coming in at 7.2% also. So they're pretty similar beers. That's why I'm going to be trying to reserve these beer face-offs to beers that are pretty close to each other. So I'm not too much apples and oranges, even though I can't probably get them exactly the same all the time. I did my first installment of the beer face-off was my Cinco de Mayo version that I pitted Modelo versus Corona. So if you do find that interesting, definitely take a look at it. But again, so this is gonna be more of like a beer face-off. I have two different glasses here. I'm gonna pour them in. I'm gonna try to get some pictures over my shoulder when I edit this a little bit, and we'll see how it goes. And again, I do plan on doing standalone videos on both of these beers if I haven't done so already. All right, so let's open up the Elysian Space Dust first. Okay, and all right. And actually, I'll open up both bottles here while I got my okay. It's a good sign is both of them are already kind of giving me the aromatics here before we even start pouring them out from the hops. Okay, so that's the Elysian. And let's pour a little bit of the Torpedo, Sierra Nevada. Both of these breweries should be pretty familiar to you. Elysian was bought out, I think, by one of the big beer companies. Okay, so Torpedo is going to take a second to settle down in the glass, but let's take a look at the Elysian. Okay, got about a ½ inch head on there, white kind of frothy foam. Sorry, again, I have clean glasses. Sometimes not the most beer clean. You got to be a little more meticulous that way. I'm drinking in my home, so I'm really not that fussy about it. Okay, nice gold, medium gold color, pretty clear other than my nucleation points on my glass. Maybe a slight chill haze. Okay, this is the Elysian again that I'm showing you right now, Space Dust. So let's take a sniff of the aroma. Yeah, so you get a little citrus, grapefruit, little tropical fruit in there too. Some dank, kind of like almost like a maybe a little pineapple. So that from the tropical fruit, probably a little pineapple, grapefruit, citrus. You get some neutral malt. Okay, so again, I'm not going to analyze it like a full beer dissection. I probably will have those standalone, but very nice. Fruit. Okay, so cheers, guys. This one, you get that bread crust, graham cracker, a little bit on the malt. There's definitely a little bit of alcoholic warmth there. Nothing too overpowering with the warmth. Medium bodied. Definitely nice, pronounced to assertive bitterness here on this one. the hop flavor. Again, you still get that citrus. You do get a little astringency like that from the pith of the grapefruit and orange. That kind of gives me a little bit of a maybe not as desirable bitterness that you get, or astringency, but still very nice. Again, a little bit warmth there. Bread crust, white bread, kind of malt. But very nice. The only thing that happens, though, is on the aftertaste, you're kind of left with a little bit of that citrus, but then you start losing a lot of the hop flavor on the aftertaste. A pretty nice beer. You can see why it's been very popular. That's why I'm trying to pick these two. I don't want to do apples and oranges, picking like, a Hill Farmstead and then some other commercial. These are pretty much, they're still craft, at least the Sierra Nevada is, but, we don't want to be going, completely craft and completely commercial. So let's take a look at the Torpedo. All right, so what I want to do is show you the Elysian first here. You can kind of see you kind of got that medium gold color. And then the Torpedo is a little bit darker. Okay, so I'm going to anticipate that there's probably going to be a little bit more malt backbone to this, as far as more crusty graham cracker on this one. And the head on this is a little bit more pronounced. It looks like I'm getting a little more lacing. Granted, it is in a little different glass. But this one's pretty clear. I'm going to try to have a picture on it, but it is a little bit darker than the Elysian Space Dust. Okay, this one here is the Sierra Nevada Torpedo. All right, so let's take a sniff of the aroma. Okay, so this one has, not as much of a grapefruit. It's actually kind of a little more subdued on the aroma of the Sierra Nevada. But you get a little bit more of a tropical fruit, maybe like peach on this one, and pineapple on the Torpedo. At least what I perceive. Again, this is all my perception. It may not, resonate with you when you're trying these beers out. Okay, but very nice here too. Cheers. So this one's got a little bit lower bitterness than the Elysium, but it has more, as I expected, a little bit more of a malt backbone, like a little bit more toasty in the malt, slight like a caramel kind of flavor, graham cracker on the thing. So the Torpedo definitely has a little bit more hefty malt backbone. It also is a little more fuller bodied than the Elysium. The bitterness is a little bit lower too. It's kind of a little more moderate to pronounced. So a little bit lower. At least my perception, my perceived bitterness with the Elysium. The Elysium's a little bit, has a little bit more of a sharpness to the hop flavor on the taste bud, even on the aftertaste, than the Torpedo. But both are very substantial and very good beers. So this is, again, the Torpedo here. Again, even on the aroma, when I go back to the aroma, this is what's interesting about doing these side by side, is that you can see, first of all, going back to color, I'm going to try to have pictures of them sitting next to each other, a little bit more on the Torpedo. There is citrus there on the Torpedo IPA. I'm going to see if they have anything on there. Yeah, there's the tropical fruit that's in there. The other thing is, Torpedo has a little bit more of a piney flavor and aroma. This is the Elysium again, which I don't get the pine on the Elysium. The Elysium is more fruit, citrus, little tropical fruit. Torpedo's got the citrus. This is the Torpedo again, IPA. But I think it just has more of a malty backbone to it. But again, both are very good here. The hard part is going to be deciding which one I like. Again, I plan on doing standalone videos for these beers. So, very good. So what I would suggest on these beers, if you're looking for a little bit more of a pronounced bitterness, sharpness from the hops, on the flavor and the aroma, a little more citrus, tropical fruit, the Elysian kind of wins out a little bit. But if you want a little bit more malt backbone to kind of complement your bitterness from the hops, which again, you do have pretty substantial. They're both Imperial IPAs. They're both going to be having pretty strong alcoholic strength, usually moderate pronounced to assertive bitterness, somewhere in that range, depending on what you're perceiving. But the Torpedo IPA definitely has more malt to it, which I prefer. Okay, guys, but both very good beers, and I can see why they've sold for a while now. The Elysium's lost a little luster over the years. It's been around for such a long period of time, and I think they were bought out by big beer, so sometimes they get pushed to the side, but it's still a very good beer. So what I would say, guys, between the Elysian Space Dust IPA, as far as our beer face-off, and our Torpedo IPA from Sierra Nevada, I'm going to give it to the Torpedo IPA, okay? And why? Both are pretty equal in the hop flavor and aroma. Torpedo's, again, a little more piney, has citrus. Elysium is more tropical fruit, citrus. But it's because Torpedo, to my taste buds, in my honest opinion, has that maltiness to it that kind of helps support. It's just not a hop bomb, or torpedo bomb, right? With the hops. So again, I'm going to give it to the Sierra Nevada Torpedo because of the extra, pronounced maltiness from the bread crust of the malt profile and things like that. But I don't think you can lose out on either one of them. All right, guys. So today's beer face-off winner between Sierra Nevada Torpedo IPA and Elysium Space Dust, which you probably have had, is going to go to Sierra Nevada Torpedo IPA. Okay, guys, until the next video, if you do want to see standalone videos on these, take a look. I probably have it under beer dissection somewhere, depending on when I post this. All right, guys, till the next video, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.